Hello, I'm Sheila Gilby. Welcome to Travel Talk with Sheila and Friends, a podcast that delves into the world's most exciting travel destinations. Joined by friends, family, and community members, we share unforgettable journeys to all corners of the globe. Today is about cruising. We'll start this episode with an exciting program for college students. It's called Semester at Sea. Next, we'll reflect on cruising in the Caribbean, one of the most popular travel destinations in the world. The Caribbean is popular for corporate retreats and events at sea, and it's common for families to cruise together for reunions, weddings, birthdays and anniversaries, and other celebratory events. Following our glimpse into cruising the Caribbean, we'll meet today's guest, my friend and sorority sister, Cheryl Prejean Greaux, an avid cruiser. Cheryl enjoys cruising for enjoyment, relaxation, and for a purpose. Cheryl has philanthropy in her DNA. For over a decade, she's sailed annually to support scholarships for students attending HBCUs. So stay tuned to hear her story. Imagine earning college credits while sailing across the world's oceans. That's exactly what the Semester at Sea program offers. This unique study abroad experience transforms a ship into a floating campus where students live and learn together while visiting multiple countries in just one semester. The semester is typically 106 days, visiting 10 countries, 11 cities, and 3 or 4 continents. How cool is that? Instead of being rooted in a single city, students get the chance to explore diverse cultures firsthand. One week they could be learning about global economies in the classroom, and the next week stepping off the ship in Morocco, Japan, or Brazil to see it in action. With faculty from leading universities, a global student community, and life-changing travel opportunities, Semester at Sea is more than an education. It's an adventure that shapes perspectives for a lifetime. In 2026, Semester at Sea's 11 destinations include the Netherlands, Portugal, Casablanca, Morocco, Salvador, Brazil, Jamestown, St. Helena, Cape Town, South Africa, Port Louis, Colombo, Sri Lanka, Ho Chi Minh, Vietnam, Hong Kong, and Bangkok, Thailand. To learn more about the program, go to www.semesteratsea.org. The Caribbean, one of my absolute favorite places in the world, continues to capture hearts as one of the most fun, fabulous, and family-friendly destinations anywhere. Whether you're sailing from Florida, New York, New Jersey, or ports beyond, the Caribbean has proudly held its place as the #1 destination for cruisers, and it's easy to see why. Cruising the Caribbean is all about convenience and discovery. You unpack once, and every morning, a brand new island adventure awaits you. Now, when we talk about the Caribbean, we're talking about a dazzling collection of islands, each with its own flavor, culture, and charm. Picture the powdery white sands and turquoise waters of the Bahamas, just a short sail from the U.S. East Coast. Imagine the Dutch and French blend you'll find on St. Martin, where 2 cultures meet one-on-one on a small island. Or think about Jamaica, alive with reggae rhythms, warm hospitality, and rich traditions. And in places like the Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, St. Thomas, Barbados, and Aruba, and suddenly you realize that no 2 island visits ever feel the same. That's what makes the Caribbean so magical. It offers something for everyone. Families love the easy access and variety of excursions. Couples soak up the romance of sunsets and private beaches. Groups of friends dive into nightclub and adventure. And even solo travelers find a warm, welcoming atmosphere. We're back on land. We are broadcasting from Montgomery County, Maryland. I am joined by my sorority sister and friend, Cheryl Prejean Greaux, who has spent more than 14 years cruising throughout the Eastern and Western Caribbean. Cheryl opens up about her journey from adventurous travels with her late husband to how cruising became her safe, joyful, and even healing escape, especially her favorite, the annual Tom Joyner Cruise, where the music, culture, and cause of supporting HBCU scholarships come together. Cheryl's stories remind us that travel is more than just a gateway. It's a source of connection, healing, and purpose. Welcome, Cheryl. Thank you for coming over from Bowie, Maryland to join us today. Tell us about yourself and life in the DMV.
I've been up in the DMV, though, for over 30 years. I came here when I snared my husband. So I had to be closer to him because he was a New Yorker, and you couldn't have a long-distance relationship from Houston, Texas to New York successfully. So therefore, I moved up here. Most recently, I lived in Leisure World. I moved there and he moved there, but he didn't know he moved there because he had dementia. And when I traveled with my husband, it was fun, adventurous travel because he was very athletic and he liked to do daredevil things like riding on donkeys, riding on camels, parachuting out of planes and all of that good stuff. I did none of that. So when I lost him in 2017, I started doing careful, safe travel, which is cruising. Bob was the love of my life. I still haven't gotten over him. It's been 7 years, and we dealt with dementia for 7 years. But even when he had dementia, I still took him on a cruise because he never would have gone on a cruise if he hadn't had dementia because it was too calm for him. He liked to be doing something. Like when we went on the people-to-people cruise, we were in the same business, and we were both mediators, and we went to South Africa. But everybody related to me more than him because I looked just like them. And Bob didn't look like anybody from South Africa. And so we really had a great time down there, and everybody would choose me to be their mediator because we were mediating true conflicts. It wasn't just made up stuff. People to People is an organization which introduces people from the United States to people from other countries. We went to China, we went to South Africa, but I enjoyed South Africa most because I really enjoyed looking at people from that country that looked just like me.
Yeah.
So I said, wow.
So you were traveling for business as well as pleasure.
Oh yes. When I was civil rights director, I went all over the country. There are only about 3 states in the country that I have not been to.
Okay.
Because I led compliance teams. I had a very successful career with the federal government, and that's why I'm very comfortably retired, and that's why I can do all that cruising I do. I really have enjoyed travel. It's been a very important part of my life. I just came back from a mundane business trip on Wednesday. I was down in New Orleans, and when I say mundane, I mean plane and rental car. To me, that's not interesting. And although it can be, because we went a number of places in New Orleans that were fascinating. I was with Excel, which is a group I used to meet with every year. I never thought I'd go back to Excel. It's for EEO directors. And so if I tell most people, they won't know what Excel, but if you're in my business and Bob's business, you know what Excel is. And but yes, I've had a very fun travel life. I'll be traveling. I will have a cruise booked when I roll up.
Well, I know you love to cruise. Tell us about some of the various cruises you've gone to besides Bermuda. We had a great cruise to Bermuda,
we had
didn't
a
we?
great time. Well, the cruises that I most love are the Tom Joyner cruises.
Okay.
I've been doing that for the last 14 years, every year. He's been doing it for 20 years, and I signed on. I would never have taken Bob Greaux on that cruise because he's too fine. And you don't take a fine man on that cruise because the sisters are serious, you know. So no, I would never have taken him on the cruises. I didn't start going on the cruises seriously. So when he first got dementia, the Tom Joyner cruise was kind of a way out for me, a time for me to de-stress and just deal with what was happening to my baby. And so I really enjoyed the Tom Joyner cruises, and they are fantastic. I was thinking about some of the talent that we have on the Tom Joyner cruise. We had May's Babyface goes, Stevie Wonder, Uncle Charlie, Boys to Men. I mean, you name it. Gladys Knight, Diana Ross.
Wow.
He does that because the tickets are very expensive. My balcony cabins that I always get are twice as much on the Tom Joyner cruise because half of what we do is for the HBCUs.
You do it for the greater good.
Oh, absolutely.
For as long as I've known you, you've been a huge supporter of scholarships, particularly those that benefit African American boys or African American males.
Oh, you know my slant towards me?
Yes, I do.
Even when I worked, as a matter of fact, I met somebody at Excel this week, and she said, "Are you still helping brothers?" I said, "Absolutely," because I was married to a brother, I know they have more trouble than we do. And that's why I help my nephews. I've educated them both at American University.
Well, Cheryl, thank you so much. Thank you for joining us for the cruise to Bermuda. Thank you for being here, spending your afternoon traveling over here to the studio.
I enjoyed it.
To talk about your travel experiences. You know I love it when we get together. You know that, girl.
We are at the end of this episode of Travel Talk with Sheila and Friends. If you missed an episode, catch up on demand at mymcmedia.org. A big thank you to our wonderful guests and incredible production team. But most of all, thank you for tuning in and being part of this journey. You can join the conversation and share your travel experiences by emailing us at sgotraveltalk@gmail.com. Until next time, goodbye, adios, ciao, and bon voyage.